Esto es Bibliohertz,
el espacio donde encontrarás herramientas para la búsqueda de información y conocimiento desde tu biblioteca.
Bibliohertz, del libro a la radio.
Everyone to another Tuesday of Bibliohertz, from the book to the radio. And we begin this program with all the joy and excitement of being with all of you for another Tuesday. We have a special thanks to Radio Anáhuac for the broadcasting space, and also to our sound engineer, David, who's right now at the booth helping with all the controls in there. A special thanks to our production team, Nancy Medellin, to our library director, el teacher Maestro Zamora, and our boss, Angelica Luna. Thanks for all the support. Sam, how are you?
Hi, Dan, great. But as you have said, this time we have seen in social media everything related to this cycle of conference, this series of conference with the different suppliers of the most important electronic resources for libraries. But now we're streaming the whole week, so stay tuned because we're going to have amazing interviews at 2 p.m. and we're going to have one at 8 a.m. in the morning. So we will tell you everything on the Facebook at Bibliohertz. So let's begin with the first of it. So Tan, talk us a little about this.
Sure, Sam. Today, let's talk about ProQuest, which is a collection of databases that provide access to periodical articles, which also includes data, reports, videos, ebooks, and theses, etc. ProQuest is multidisciplinary, as you can search on different areas of study. And for today, we have Boe Horton, who's the Vice President of Sales for Latin America and is based in Maryland. He's going to tell me how to pronounce that now. And he holds an MBA from Kingston University in England and studied physics and mathematics at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Yeah, and he also worked with libraries in over 25 countries and served all types of libraries, such as higher education, public, K-12, national, state, government, and corporate. He also has been building a strong relationship with librarians from the region and developed custom solutions for the specific needs of Latin America libraries, faculty, and researchers. So we have Boe here with us. So hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and thank you very much for inviting me to join this great opportunity on Bibliohertz program. Thank you.
Thank you to you both to be here with us. And to present our guests, we have our library director, Mr. Ricardo Zamora.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Boe, welcome once again to Bibliohertz. Thank you for joining us in the first program of the series Conociendo a los Vicepresidentes de las mejores Empresas, Proveedores de Recursos Digitales. You know, for us, it's a great honor because as we know that through our platform, you will reach out to both a national and international audience. Without further ado, I leave you with our presenter, Samantha and Tanya. Ladies, you may begin.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ricardo. And Boe, you're here to talk about ProQuest, right? Tell us a little about the history of ProQuest. Where and when did it merge? What were its main objectives?
Well, great. Well, thank you very much. Again, I'm delighted to be back here with Radio Anáhuac and now on the Bibliohertz program. It's a real honor for me and an honor for our company to be here. Actually, ProQuest has been around for over 80 years, and it's a very interesting start to our business. A gentleman by the name of Eugene Powers was the initial founder. The company had a different name at that point in time. But what he did is he identified some of the challenges that research institutions and libraries were facing regarding physical books, physical documents. This is over like 90 years ago, right? A long time ago, and making that accessible for other scholars, other researchers, other students to get access to it. And he developed microfilm technology, which most of the younger generation may have only read about, but have never used. The beauty of microfilm is it's a long-term preservation technology using film, and then miniaturizing the images, and you're able to store those films in the right kind of conditions for hundreds of years. And so before the outbreak of the Second World War in Europe, he started working with the British libraries to film their important works, because during the First World War, many libraries in continental Europe were destroyed, and important and precious works were destroyed with it. So that's how the business actually started. It was about capturing the images of important works and documents, duplicating them, preserving them, and making them accessible literally around the world with microfilm readers. And then fast forwarding to that, our whole mission and focus has been on content curation, adding relevant collections, helping support teaching, learning, and research around the world. One of the things I'd like to talk about is, as we as an organization have been collecting, curating, and now digitizing content, we have content going back over 600 years. So it's pretty impressive, the type of content we have available. And we make that content available on our platforms for students, researchers, and scholars, as well as librarians, really anybody who needs access to that valuable information. And at the same time, we've been developing software technologies to help libraries manage their workflows, librarians, and faculty members, as well as platforms to support teaching, learning, and research. So now ProQuest serves globally over 26,000 institutions of research, from academic libraries, public libraries, government agencies, corporations, state libraries, national libraries, special libraries, you name it. They're all customers of ProQuest in one way or another. So it's a real honor, as someone of you pointed out. I've had an opportunity of traveling around the world, meeting with librarians, meeting with faculty and students to understand their specific needs, and then looking for ways for us to help address those issues. Another point I'd like to mention is that when we think about who's using our resources, it's all of your top universities around the world. And Anáhuac University, of course, is one of our very esteemed customers here in Mexico, and we're always happy to see and work with Anáhuac University. I want to take a minute just to talk a little bit about our mission and vision and how that aligns, I think, with the mission and vision at Anáhuac as well. So for ProQuest, our mission is to better research, better learning, better insights. And ProQuest enables people to change their world. And we were looking at the mission statement of your university, which talks about, at the university level, contribute to the comprehensive training of positive action leaders and institutionally promote the development of people in a society inspired by the values of Christian humanism. And the University Library Network is to contribute to the integral formation of the university community, developing its informational competencies through an effective management of information services and resources aimed at promoting the development of human being and society. So, that's a very kind of good match to the ProQuest mission statement as well. Another point I'd like to kind of touch on is core values. And I think these are important to understand a bit about our company, where we are today and where we're going. So from our core values perspective, we as a business really value our number one core value. Well, I can't put it in front of you, but our number one core value is, in fact, our customers. If we don't get it right with our customers, we're not going to be successful as a business. And we're fortunate, having over close to 90 years of business globally, we have been very focused on meeting the needs and anticipating the future needs of our customers around the world. Our second objective, our core value, is about our people, right? Without good people, nothing is possible. We have over 3,700 employees, a highly diverse workforce with offices all around the world, with all types of people that make up our business. And it's the people that make the difference. And I'm very pleased to indicate that in Latin America, many of our team members, in fact, are librarians. So what better way to support libraries and research than with having capable librarians as part of our team? Integrity is very important. We believe in being trustworthy and delivering on what we say we're going to do and operating with full integrity. And accountability is part of that as well. Integrity and accountability. Innovation is really core to our success and our growth. And Anáhuac University, as a partner of ours, has helped us with some of our innovation initiatives and helps launch those with resources within the marketplace. And then finally, community. We do a lot with community for with our people, but also our employees support the community with their community outreach. As a company, we're very fortunate. Our business allows us to take some time off to provide community service, volunteer service. So every year, we're just providing thousands and thousands of hours of volunteer time in whatever capacity to, communities around the world.
Thank you, Bo. But before continuing with the interview, I am going to give like a little ad for everyone that is listening to us. So I'm going to tune off in Spanish mode. Para todos los que nos están escuchando, les recordamos que si nos están viendo desde el Facebook Live, pueden activar los subtítulos en la configuración para que puedan tener a la mano esta traducción de los subtítulos. Y también les comentamos que próximamente tendremos la edición para el YouTube. We may continue. So we have heard a lot of this core value about ProQuest. So talking about the needs of the customer, meeting these needs, the good people, employees that are capable to do the work, trustworthy, the integrity. But now we want to know about the characteristics of the collection. So talking properly about the collection, which the tools are conformed. Can you talk a little bit about the collection, all the things that ProQuest is offering?
Right, so we have a highly diverse set of content and collections. We literally have hundreds of different types of collections, including very specialized primary source collections. So whatever field of research a researcher is involved with, a graduate student, an undergraduate student, a librarian, we have the collections that match those specific fields of interest. For Anáhuac University, you have some of our core collections and the ProQuest Central database and our ebook Academic Complete database, where on the ebooks alone, there are close to, or maybe over 200,000 electronic books covering all different subject areas and disciplines right at your fingertips. And on the ProQuest Central database, we have, as you mentioned earlier, dissertations and theses, we have working papers, we have trade journals, we have academic and scholarly journals, we have market research reports, we have thousands of full text newspapers. And the beauty of that is whatever field of study someone's involved with or field of research, or if students have research assignments, they can go to these platforms through the discovery system, which is called Primo at Anáhuac University, or straight to the database, and then find all sorts of relevant materials that they can use for their research, so they can immediately cite and reference.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Bo. And talking about these diverse content available to our fingertips, we heard that ProQuest is developing an app, and I want to know if you can share a little bit more about it, and if you have something new soon to be launched onto the market, can you share this information with us and all our audience here in the radio and also on our Facebook Live?
Sure. So we're constantly innovating, constantly creating new products and services. In Latin America, we recently launched a new resource called Rapid ILL. And Anáhuac University was the first university in Latin America to sign up to implement this service. So what is it? It's a service that makes interlibrary loan even more efficient than before. It's a network of like institutions from around the world that are able to lend or borrow resources from other institutions electronically almost in real time. So if any students or faculty members or librarians are involved with interlibrary loan, sometimes it can take a while to get the information you need if your university doesn't have it. And this is a great electronic means of connecting and networking and then getting the information back to the library, back to the user that needs it. Maestro Zamora can talk a little bit more about the rollout plans at Anáhuac University.
Thank you, Maestro. If you'd like to share something with us?
Yes, only for our audience. In this moment, we have the app in one initial point, because we have a team in design, the marketing Anáhuac. How do you say, Samantha, in design?
Yeah, the interface. Maybe the design of the interface of the app. We're working also on on everything related, so we can have the Anáhuac, the whole network Anáhuac here. But let's go back to a short commercial cut, and then we'll be back talking about the app and everything related to ProQuest.
Yeah, so in a few minutes, we continue to this interesting talk, but it's time to, as Samantha said, go to a short break on the radio, but we are still broadcasting on our Facebook Live.
We are back here at the radio with Boe Horton, Vice President
for Latin America, who came to share with us everything related to ProQuest. So can you share with us how many countries in Latin America is available to use all the ProQuest services?
So the great news is over the last 3 years, I put in place a strategic initiative to get closer to our customers. Prior to that, we had a distribution network, which was fine, but we were at the stage in our evolution to really get even closer to our customers and have fully equipped teams to better serve and support our customers. So we established offices in Mexico, in Colombia, and in Chile. On top of that, we already had an established office in Brazil. We hired up many people throughout the entire region, from Chile all the way up to Mexico and in between, to be able to serve and support our customers. And so in most of the countries in Latin America, they are customers of ours, where many countries have many institutions, not only academic institutions, but even public libraries, corporations, government agencies that are all part of the ProQuest family of customers. So we're really happy. I am, in fact, the only United States person responsible for Latin America, but as I hadn't mentioned here on the radio, I am actively studying Spanish, and I hope if we do this again next year, I can do the full interview in Spanish as best I can. But for me, it's very important. I always believe in local people serving the local markets. I used to run Asia Pacific. I built up our presence in China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and other places. And I believe very much in local to local, right? Local people serving local markets. So yeah, we have great customers throughout all of Latin America. And of course, all of our teams are fluent in Spanish. We got our Brazilian team, not only are fluent in Portuguese, but they also speak Spanish and English. And then everybody, we hired a lot of new people. Their English, we invested and we gave them training also to learn English, because we are a global company and we're communicating literally with our colleagues all around the world, whether they're in Europe, whether they're in Israel, whether they're in China, whether, wherever they may be. It's important to have a way to communicate effectively.
Thanks, Bo. And that's right. Breaking this part of the language and the culture, it's really good because we need to tropicalize specifically to that place and get to know the people that we're working on. And that's why you were talking that the new proposals that ProQuest is bringing to the libraries is making this search for knowledge more accessible and having everything here in our fingertips. So talking about all this, what can be, or what are the solutions, what are the things that ProQuest offers that makes it position ProQuest where is it today in Latin America? What makes ProQuest being one of the main databases and electronic resources providers here in Latin America?
I think there are a number of factors. Number one, we have an entire team that provide technical support, training and consulting, training the librarians, training students if they want it virtually or in person. So we have people on the ground to provide that training. We have a marketing team that does a lot of help with libraries to help promote resources and promote, training sessions. The second element is related to the platforms. So the platforms, we have really great experienced product managers and experienced software developers and experienced professionals that understand the importance of user design, user experience. So they work hard to make the platforms very, very intuitive and easy to use for students, graduate students, faculties, and researchers. I think the other thing too is content. Content is king still. Content is very important. So we make sure we have vetted academic and scholarly content, relevant research content, relevant primary source content. So we touch every type of content imaginable. So whether it's dissertations and theses that we have, whether it's videos, academic and scholarly videos, important films, important works, literary publications, books going back 300 years ago, 400 years ago, newspapers going back 100 years ago, 200 years ago. what have you. That's all. And then, of course, your core academic and scholarly journals, both current and historical. It's really almost any kind of content type you can imagine. We have terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of data. We're doing a lot of stuff there in terms of some new developments, which I can talk about momentarily, related to big data analytics and visualization and all that sort of thing.
Thank you, Bo. And Samantha, do you have something to comment?
Yeah, we were talking before the break about this new resource and everything related to Rapid. So we know that Rapid it's the most ingenious and forward-thinking innovation and experience. Can we talk a little bit about Rapid LL?
Yeah, so the campus, the mobile application is a tool, an application that makes access to everything on your campus, virtually easy to do and get access to your library resources. So Rapid ILL is the interlibrary loan resource that allows electronic sharing or instantaneous sharing, not instantaneous, but pretty quick, with like institutions. Currently, we have 500 Rapid ILL customers around the world. And what it means is if a researcher, a student at Anáhuac needs a particular article that for whatever reason your university doesn't have, then they can request it through Rapid ILL and it'll be delivered electronically to them, usually within less than 24 hours. The average turnaround time is 12 hours, 11 hours, something like that. So it's giving you access to information that, and this is stuff that's not freely available. This is not stuff that's just sitting on the internet, right? A lot of the information is, within a library's collection, what have you. So this turns it around very quickly.
That's real cool. And I believe that it breaks the boundaries through around the world, so we can share all this content with all of the people around it, right? And also talking about this importance of the collections and the importance that all the people that it's available to have the ProQuest services had access to it. In your opinion, what would be the importance of your collections for academia and also for the research skills that you were mentioning with the institutions and study centers and school, and with which you collaborate with?
Yeah, what's interesting, so I have children, and my children in their elementary school, then in their middle school, in their high school, access various ProQuest databases through their public school system and also through their public library, depending on the kind of research project they're doing. Of course, in elementary level, research is a bit more simple. Middle school and high school get a bit more advanced. Once these students go then to university level or graduate from university, and they need vetted academic and scholarly materials for their research, whatever field of research you're in, it really doesn't matter. Then we have that content available on our platforms that are then provided by their university, through their public library. Even in my case, I live in the state of Maryland, through the state of Maryland. And so it makes it easy for them to get vetted, qualified information at their fingertips to help them with their research process. And then the great thing is the platform even has tools to create automatic citations. And then we have also other tools that allow them to manage their research collections.
And now talking specifically about the Anáhuac University, let's talk about the collaboration, the things that we have made together specifically with the Anáhuac Library Network. So in which aspects are you innovating together as a team? What are the things that Anáhuac and ProQuest are working together to build this strong relationship?
So I believe very much in a relationship where it's a partnership, not simply a relationship with a vendor. And we strive to become partners to our customers and our prospective customers through receiving their input, getting ideas with them, sharing some of the things that we're doing, and then finding relevant and appropriate solutions. In particular, with Anáhuac University, Ricardo Zamora is very actively involved in helping shape our strategy. So for instance, he is the president of the GUELM organization, Grupo Usuarios Ex Libris de México. So GUELM organization in providing insight, feedback for development of our Ex Libris library systems platform, systems called ALMA and Primo, which Anáhuac has. The second is Ricardo is part of our Latin American Advisory Board. And I established I reinvigorated the Latin American Advisory Board a couple of years ago. And I thought it was very important that the advisory board should be about us asking questions, getting feedback, and then hopefully making those changes, whether it's new product, whether it's new content, and getting those added to our collection going forward. And so Ricardo has been a very active member of our customer advisory board and has had the opportunity to learn more about some of the new developments even before the rest of the market learns about it and provide input. And I think a great example was a recent collaboration where we went to the market, we went to our advisory board members to say, here's Rapid ILL, here's a feature functionality, but we don't have any customers in Latin America. The product, this is the way the product's developed right now. What do you think? What should be done with it? And we had his feedback. We had the other advisory board members. But Ricardo said, this is great. And I think, Anáhuac, right, should be one of the first to say, yes, let's get it. So that was very, very helpful for us. I think the other thing too is we partner in terms of joint marketing events. We do, joint training where appropriate. We're always happy to come out in person before the pandemic and provide on-site training or consulting.
Thank you so much for sharing. And we also are really, really grateful to have this partnership, as you call it, with ProQuest. But in your words, besides all the Rapid ILL and the academic and research content, what would you say that ProQuest has to offer that the other databases and electronic resource providers has?
Breadth and depth of content, really excellent service and support to our customers, good ears. We listen to our customers and we try to take action and help them. For the last couple of years, since I've been responsible for the region, we've really focused on customer success, customer satisfaction. And I'm proud to announce that Latin America has some of the highest scores of high levels of customer satisfaction globally, because we work really hard as an entire team. I've got a great team, all local people across the organization for Latin America, serving our customers. I also think we're innovators. We're always listening to the market, anticipating future needs, testing it with our advisory board members and customers, and then launching new products rapidly in the market. And I think that's another competitive differentiation for us. And for me, it really comes down to the people. At the end of the day, it's our people and it's our customers, right? It's about the people, the quality of our people, and the commitment, the passion for, improving better research, better learning, better outcomes for our clients.
Right. Yeah, that's really important because, as you said, to listen to customers, they are the ones that are using these resources. They are the ones that are going to use these tools, and they have needs. So as you mentioned, that is what is making ProQuest grow and always have this advantage of being the first in the market to have all these resources. But before going to a break, we want to know what is going to be the next step for ProQuest in Latin America. What are the things that they are innovating? Maybe some sneak peek of something about these tools that you can share with us?
We have a continued focus on adding more local content. So content that's published in Latin America, of course, in Spanish and Portuguese. That's been there, but we have an extra push on that and making sure that's readily available within our collections. And we are doing that. I just want to see us accelerate that. I think the second thing is we have some really cool new technologies which are involved with text and data mining. Because we have such a large corpus, such a large volume of content, we have tools now called our Text and Data Mining Studio, which for customers that have any of our collections, most of our collections that is, they can use this tool to do research and then to analyze information going back hundreds of years. So we're starting to see universities in Europe and in North America, like US, Canada, who are beginning to test out and use these resources for text and data mining applications.
Thank you so much, Bo. And for our audience, this is a special question, a little bit more personal, so we can bond with you right now. What would you say it's your favorite characteristic? But I'm talking about Boe Horton. What would be the favorite Boe Horton favorite characteristic about the ProQuest platform and database?
So that's a question for me or for the audience?
Yeah, for you. It's totally personal. So we can bond with you as an audience.
So what is my favorite characteristic about me, or just to be clear?
About ProQuest.
Oh, about ProQuest.
You as a user.
As a user or as an employee? Because I have two stories. A user
Maybe
or employee?
You can tell us both.
Okay, as an employee, I've had the privilege of 21 years of work, great work around the world, starting in Europe, UK, to New Jersey, New York area, to Maryland, to China for 5 years, and then globally, always globally. And it's a great company to work for. We have so many opportunities. We hire a lot of people, lots of like different roles within the organization, and investment in development, investment in your professional growth. That's the company side. And great people, of course. That's the real thing. I've got such a fantastic team here in Latin America and colleagues I work with around the world. So I get a little bit emotional because I like our people. The second thing is the products are great because we focus on the needs of the customer, right? So sometimes you'll see other companies where you look at the product you're using and you're like, wow, this is like 10 years old. This is 15 years old. You know, it's like, it just doesn't give you a good feeling. You want something that when you use it, it's really intuitive. It pops at you. It serves you the information you need at the time you need it, right? You don't want irrelevant information. You want relevant information. And then sometimes you make it easy for people, the users, to filter it, to change facets. So, but what's great about our platform is we've got the video, we've got the audio, we've got the journals, we've got the newspapers, we've got the dissertations and theses, but it's all presented in a very elegant, easy to use, and ebooks, of course, easy to use platform.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that story. We have seen that ProQuest is been really building a strong relationship with the users, listening to everyone. So let's have a short break here on the radio. We're going to go for the last commercial cut, and then we'll be back talking the last steps about ProQuest and what is going to be happening. So it's super important for us to share this with the audience, and we're going to be back in a few minutes. So we're going to go for a short commercial cut, and then we're going to be back in the radio. So we're back from this short break of the radio. Remember that we are going to be broadcasting and having a coverage at 2 p.m. of this conference cycle. Tan already gave us the sneak peek of the conference that we're going to have tomorrow, but stay tuned to this conference and let's continue. Before going to the break, we were talking with Boe about what is making ProQuest the leader of the resources, his personal experience. And also it happens that, as Boe was telling us, happens in classes when you're looking for information. If this information is not updated, especially in areas where you have to research, where you have to do a lot of research, we need information that it's updated. So having ProQuest helping us, it's going to be a really great. But also a question that everyone is asking, and sometimes we don't know about the citation. Boe, can you talk about what is important to cite? Why does ProQuest have a space where you can cite what you are going to read, the articles, the books? Why is it important to cite?
Yeah, so for proper, research papers and research, anytime you're reviewing somebody else's works, you need to cite their research. And what's nice about our platform, and we have another tool called RefWorks, but even on the ProQuest platform, we have different output styles. So APA styles, MLA, et cetera, where you can then cite certain articles that you're looking at, newspaper articles, whatever it may be, even an ebook, to document that as you write your paper, you have referenced some of these resources, some of these articles for your works. So it's just good part of the research process.
Thank you, Boe. And for all of our audience, we also we're going to remember you to cite every academic work, because it's going to be really important, so you can show us as yours, but with the citation, right? And also you mentioned some tools that ProQuest has to do this citation. Is only RefWorks available on ProQuest, or what other tools does ProQuest provide?
So the main platforms allow outputs of different citation formats. There are many. There are literally thousands, but on our main platforms, we do the main ones. So you don't necessarily need to have another citation management tool. RefWorks is really great for, we have a large corpus of content. You're writing a lot of papers, you're submitting papers, you're doing a lot of research. That's also a nice resource to have that's available from ProQuest. Those are ours, but on our platform, we support different outputs into other systems.
Thank you, Bo. So we still have some minutes on the radio and on the Facebook Live, but we want to ask you, what do you want to share? What other resources, something you want to share about ProQuest that you want to everyone to get to know?
I think the important thing is that we will continue to invest in our human resources, in our content, in our technology, not only in Latin America, but globally, to even better serve our students, our librarians, our faculty, and our researchers around the world. In Latin America, Anáhuac is a very good partner. We have a fantastic relationship, and we're here to help. And your library is doing a great job of providing really world-class resources, not just ProQuest, but others to your students and researchers and faculty. And we are here, we've got your back to help provide any kind of additional training, support, marketing, we're there for you.
Thank you so much. And we also feel very, very close to ProQuest people that they have been helping us for years and years. But now we leave the microphone open so you can invite our listeners to use this wonderful resource. And what would you say is the best for ProQuest and suggest to all our listeners to use this platform?
So we invite you, whether you're at Anáhuac University or at another university, almost every university around the world has some ProQuest resources. Go to the library virtually, connect into your databases, look for any of the ProQuest resources, connect into it, and I think you'll be really impressed with the kind of content that you can find, the information you can find, and more importantly, the ease of use of the resources. So it's what you need, when you need it, and how you need it, very efficiently served up.
Thanks, Bo. And before finishing this interview that has gone really fast, are there any social media, web page, forums where people can get to know more about ProQuest, the services, what they are working, not only for the librarians, for the universities, for researchers, but the people in general that want to know and that want to read articles, papers? Where can they get to know more about ProQuest and what ProQuest is doing?
Sure. So even for Latin America, we have a library newsletter. We have a dedicated blog in Spanish and Portuguese. We have microsites that have a lot of information about our different collections and content and systems in Spanish and Portuguese, as well as other languages around the world. We have idea exchange where clients can provide input for future product development. We have all sorts of social media postings. So maybe at the end of this, my marketing team member, Cesar, will provide links that you can then share with the various audiences. But we are very active on various social media platforms as well.
Thank you, Bo. And for all the people and the community, the Anáhuac community, we remind you that we have available this ProQuest platform and you can do all your research there. And also, Bo, do you have any other story that you'd like to share with us? Because you said off the air that you had a lot of stories that you can share with us that it's related to your work at ProQuest.
Well, for me, it's always a pleasure and a delight to go out and meet with our customers. And for me, like many other people, the pandemic has made it more challenging. It's only virtual for us at this stage. I always love going out into country at a university, walking around, seeing the students, the faculty, going to the library. It's like a joy. I mean, I really enjoy it. And to learn about, okay, what's going on here? What's going on at Anáhuac? What's important? Hey, what am I seeing at some other universities? What are some of the trends? And then sort of sharing ideas, getting input, getting feedback. And of course, the cultural aspect. For me, I love my whole passion is global travel, global cultures, learning other languages. I even learned Chinese for a little while. Spanish, of course, now is my focus. And it's about learning about the culture, the food, the history. That's like, for me, this is the best job in the world because I get to do that. And so now my focus for the last few years has been Latin America, and it's been fantastic. I've got to travel all throughout Latin America, see so many customers. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, would have been there even more, of course. So I look forward to getting back.
Thank you, Bo. And we are waiting you here with all the excitement. And now, before we close this amazing interview, I'm going to challenge you.
Ooh.
Please share with us some message that you want to give to all our community, but let's do it in Spanish. Don't worry, if you need some help with some words, Samantha and I will be able to help you at any time.
Es un placer para mí para hablar con ustedes. en este momento. Y qué más. So in this, sorry. In this moment, I'm learning subjuntivos. So I don't know how to use the subjuntivo about, espero que future tenses. But I wish everybody good health and good success and continue to study.
Actually, you did pretty great. You did it better than us.
Thank you.
So before finishing, we're almost finishing this interview. We just want to remind you that Tanya was telling you the use of these resources are really important. And Anáhuac University has been working for all the community to have access to the resources, electronic databases. And remember that we have more than 120 databases that you need to explore. The only thing that the university is asking you is to have your electronic email, your school email. So it's really important that now you're getting to know all the vice presidents, all the apps, what they are sharing with you. So even if you are studying a master, if you are studying a postdoctorate, you can do all this research and feel free to ask all the librarians about the information that we're sharing with you, all the information that is there, that you just need to ask and it's going to be there. So to finish, teacher, would you like to say thanks to our guest and say something for Boe?
Bob, thank you so much for your participation. For our library, ProQuest represents a very significant ally. Not only, because you're the catalog of digital resources, but because of your initiative and leadership as Vice President, which has been remarkable since your arrival. Thank you so much, both, for being here, and greetings for your wife and children. We wish you the best, only the best, always.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Tibo.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to keep working what is going to be the things that ProQuest is going to offer, the Anáhuac University, the Anáhuac Network, and everything. But to finish, just can you remind us a little bit more about the app? Just something more about the app that it's going to be developed for the ones that weren't in at the beginning of the program. Just a little bit of sneak peek and what is going to be the good things and the advantages that the app is going to have.
Sorry, are you asking me or Maestro Ricardo?
Yeah.
Oh, so yes. So the app is a unified experience for users, any user at Anáhuac University, to get in easily on their mobile device to all the library resources that are available through the Alma Primo platform. It has lots of other feature functionality that the library can use to promote and market different events that are going on. So I think that your team or some of the team are working on the final launch and the final, what's great about it is fully customizable. So really whatever information you want to share on that tool you can make it available.
Thank you. And for all that they are listening right now on the radio, we remind you that you are going to be available to watch this interview at our Facebook Live, and you can watch how did we get Boe a little bit nervous with this
exactly. Yes.
message. But it's okay. So you did it great. And we are looking forward to have you here at the university. We really are sad that you missed this time to came here, as you said us off air, that you wanted here to be on April, you said, maybe after when was the day that you said was
Originally I was going to be there in April 2020, but the pandemic started. So we're planned now is to come out as a family to visit, not just for business, but to visit as a family in April 2022. That's our plan with my children and my wife.
Perfect, sir. We're going to we are looking forward to have you here and your wife and your children, so they can also practice their Spanish, right?
Exactly. My son, yes, he's studying Spanish.
So he can be.
Oh, my wife. I'm sorry, my wife speaks Spanish too.
Oh, really? That's nice. So we are going to have here all the family, and we are going to be able to talk to them, and also with you, because I believe that you are going to be able to speak very fluent Spanish.
I got to work even harder now.
Yeah. Well, just to finish this interview, we have a lot of comments on the Facebook, so we're going to just say hi to everyone that was listening to us, and thank you for being here with us. So we have Jesus, Geno, Noemi, Cristina, Angelica, Amalia, Tere. So we thank you a lot for listening the program, for being here with us, and we send you a big hug. So this has been all for today. So we just remind you that we're going to have this program. So Tan, can you once again tell us about the whole cycle of the conference that we're going to have the whole week?
Sure, Sam. We're going to have this cycle called Conociendo a los Vicepresidentes de las Empresas más importantes proveedoras de recursos electrónicos. And for tomorrow, we're going to have Lidet Quesada, who's the Vice President of EBSCO. Unfortunately, that interview is going to be in Spanish, but don't worry, Bo, you can also watch it and you can put the subtitles in English. And for those people that are asking in what language is going to be the other interviews, only this one and the McGraw-Hill with Amanda Pett is going to be in English, and the other two is going to be in Spanish. We have this cycle. This is going to be all the interviews at 2 p.m. But the interview with Eugenio, who's the Vice President of Elsevier, is going to be at 8 o'clock a.m. And we are looking forward to have you all there. And thank you again for joining us today on our program. And for those who couldn't listen to it from the beginning, remember that we are on the Spotify and also on our YouTube channel. And you can find all the past programs on the official Bibliohertz Facebook page. And we invite you to continue watching and listening to the cycle, conference cycle the whole week at 2 p.m. and the Thursday, I believe, at 8 a.m. Thank you also to all our radio listeners for being here with us in this program. And remember that we have an appointment all week through the 1670 at a.m. and also in live transmission on our Facebook page through at Bibliohertz Official. Don't miss it, and we'll see you there. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Maestro.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bo. Un abrazo. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Tania.
Thank you. See
See
you
you soon.
tomorrow.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Gracias por acompañarnos.
Esto fue Bibliohertz,
Te esperamos la próxima semana
para llevarte del libro a la radio.
Every breath you take